Good afternoon and welcome to this week's issue of Print21. My name is Wayne Robinson, editor of the magazine and the website. This week we're outside a local suburban library, still not open, but the hope is that as this library will open soon and all other economic activity opens, the print industry will be able to get back on its feet again. One company that won't be doing in its present form, unfortunately, is Bambra Press, the well-known high-profile Melbourne print business. Filed for administration this week. Owner John Wallace told me that sales in April were down by 80%, and that, coupled with a few bad debts, left them facing a mountain that was just too big to attack. The business will be restructured. John tells me it'll come back probably in a smaller form, but it will come back. The business, of course, was well known for its high quality work. It's one of only 30 printers in the world that's accredited by the R.J. Wiggins latest certification. John Wallace himself, of course, a tireless advocate for the industry, has served on several boards and was chairman of National Print Awards at one time, and of course Bambra Press won many of those. We've had many heartfelt messages going out to John and the team there. I hope to see them all back in some form or guise before too long. A new survey this week by Richard Rasmussen's Ascent Partners basically told us what we all know. April was a horror month for the industry. The survey showed that two-thirds or more than two-thirds of print businesses saw sales decrease by at least 30%. 30% of printers saw sales decrease by at least 50%, and 15% of printers, including Bambra Press, saw sales decrease by 70% or more, a huge hole. Richard Rasmussen tells me that the labels and packaging sector actually saw the opposite, with many printers seeing a spike in sales because, of course, of panic buying and the stock flying off the supermarket shelves. The commercial print industry, though, took a big hit, but we hear that it is starting to recover. A landmark court ruling this week in the federal court could have major implications for print businesses. The court ruled that casual staff are entitled or are allowed or should receive the full set of entitlements that permanent staff receive, even though they're paid a 25% loading for being casual. The court case originated in a mining company, a mining guy there, but of course printers have casual staff pretty much a lot of the time for the inevitable peaks, troughs and rush jobs that go on. The fear is that those staff will now be priced out of the market, and an even bigger fear is that print businesses will have to pay back casual staff entitlements from the years gone by. Pressure for the big business or small business, in fact all businesses are piling immense pressure on the government to change the law to make sure that they're not caught in a trap here which could see them liable for thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Also this week in the news, in more positive news, the campaign to get Australian government print and government funded print back onto Australian presses received a boost when Sterling Hinchcliffe, State Minister in Queensland, put pressure on the Queensland State Government, which already does mandate print to be printed in Australia, to pressurise the federal government. That petition that printers have been signing has now got virtually 5,000 names on it. Keep the pressure on your MPs and let's see that print back here on Australian presses. More good news this week saw Sandra Duarte, well-known General Manager at Centrum Printum, take the reins as CEO. Percy Vidge is stepping into a more sales role, and Sandra will take over running that business. She tells me in addition to driving growth there, she'll be using the role to promote women, young women and girls into the industry. So congratulations to Sandra. Congratulations also to Imagination Press in Sydney. You may remember in the period between the fires and the plague was the floods, and the Marrickville-based business Imagination was flooded out, all its equipment wrecked. Fortunately, the insurance company paid up, and just this last week, Imagination is back in business with the country's first Konica Minolta C14000, which Emmanuel Buhagiar, the owner there, describes as a beast, a terrific machine, pumping out work already. And he will also be taking his a new KM1 digital B2 sheet-fed inkjet press. That's it for this week's issue of Print21. Go to Print21 for all the stories, all these stories and more in detail. New Innovadorettes, Ovato NZ trying to breathe life into the moribund Kiwi print magazine business. That's it for this week. Wayne Robinson signing off.